So I've been getting requests to make a Kandi mask tutorial from some of my fellow EDM family members. So this is a mask that I did about a month ago or so, and it's a neon drip mask, and it comes across like this and like this. So to start off, you want to make sure you have all the beads you need laid out in front of you, minus letter beads because you don't necessarily need those unless your design requires it. And I personally made my own template that I draw on to make sure I know what my design is before I can design my own. And it's a lot easier than just doing it online because, well, color pencils. You want to make sure you have enough stretchy string for your beading. And personally, I get kind of more of like a stretchy, thinner one so it's easier to manipulate when stringing the beads and making the design. Which I get this at like Walmart and Michael's, and it's like pretty cheap. It's like $3 or something. And then scissors, and then just a simple nail polish to seal off the knots that you tie. So, the design that I will be showing you guys today is a sun and moon design that I personally came up with. Is not copyrighted. I personally designed this because I love Above and Beyond and their song Sun and Moon. So I'll be showing you guys how to make this one today. So when measuring out the length of beading string that you need for the Kandi mask, I personally have learned, and from my own experience making them, you want to have 2 lengths of string of your own arm wing span. And if you need more, you can obviously just simply add on more as you go along the process of weaving the beads through. Alright, so next step you want to do, after you have your string all lined up and equal to each side, you want to look at your template and find the middle of the very middle line going across. Of course, it'll be a 2-1-2-1 pattern going across. What you want to do, you want to find the middle, put 2 dots, and that represents your starting point of your first row of your mask. And this way, when you get to the end over here, you'll able to work your way down and then up and then eventually tie these, which I'll obviously go over later. So first, starting off with these 2 beads right here, I personally have them white, but I'm using clear for those. So what you want to do, take your string, take both ends. Now since these are 2 beads, you take 2 beads and put 1 over each end of the string and then pull it. And next, since we have 1 bead, you put it over both strings at the same time so they both go through, and then you pull it. And when you pull it, you want to make sure that the 2 are on top of each other. If you can see that. And then this one is by the side. And every time you pull it tight, you want to make sure it is as tight as possible and there is no like flexible room like that, because obviously that is not going to form a strong, durable mask. So moving on, you have another double pair of clears, and then a single, and then a double, and then a single. So simply all you do, for your double, you go back to the putting 1 bead over each string, pulling it, and then for your single, you do the same thing again. Take the both strings and put them together, put them both through the same bead, and pull it. And then for the next double, you do the same thing, 1 over each, pull it, and then again for the single, both strings together, you put them both through, and then pull it. So when you pull it again, I'll show you more of the pattern with more beads on it. Make sure you pull it really tight, because if you leave it loose, these will all fall apart. So when you pull it tight, it's nice and sturdy, and it's basically a solid part. So now that we've gotten that part, you want to make sure you always check off the beads that you've already done, because that way if you don't, you'll easily lose track of where you are and it'll mess up your design. So now that you see our next 2 beads, instead of being clear, we've moved to the colored part of the actual design. So right here we have 2 orange. So basically all you do, the same exact process, except you take your colored beads, put one over each, and then pull it. And then our next one is yellow for our single. So for that single, again, put both strings together and put them both through the same bead and pull it, making the design now look like that. So I'll go ahead and finish the rest of this row and I'll get back. Okay, so I had to change out my colors and beads. Still the same design, just more vibrant colors, because my clear beads were a different size than my regular beads, so it did not tie up correctly and it didn't come as tight as it should have been. So unfortunately, I had to redo it. And yeah, so anyways, once you get to the end here, after you finish your first row, we're gonna do, all you're gonna do is just tie it together. And I suggest about 2 to 3 to 4 times. 4 times just being safe, to make sure that it does not break or snap or come undone, obviously. And what I always do, no matter what, after every knot I make, I put a little nail polish on it just to make sure it is secure and does not come untied. Just a little bit of reinsurance. So what you're going to do now is take your 2 strings and separate them like so. And how I like to work upwards first.